Well, hello. This is, I don't know what day it is. But anyway, continuing our lectures on different type of therapies. One therapy that you may not know a lot about is gestalt. It's really big right now. Uh, Psychology is kind of like clothes. Every 20 or some years, it goes in and out of fashion. Right now, Gestalt was really big. Gestalt was really big in the 80s. And then we got too crazy with it. You know, we had a bunch of people naked in a pool holding hands and doing all kinds of weird stuff. But anyway, Gestalt therapy, it was developed by Fritz Perls. And the story is, I don't know, maybe an urban legend, is that Perls had a bromance with Freud. I mean, he just idolized Freud. Freud was his idol, and this is the turn of the century. So there's no phone system. There's no internet. There's no uh, getting information quickly. So he would write letters to Freud. He was in South Africa. Freud was in Austria, and so Vienna. So then it take a long time. And Pearl said, I like to meet you. I got a lot of things to talk about. I got some great ideas because Pearls was a psychoanalyst in South Africa, very famous at the time. And finally, after I don't know a year or two, Freud got tired of all these letters and said, "Okay, you can come see me." And Fritz Perls was just like excited like a kid at Christmas. So he gets in a boat. And remember, this is turn of the century, and he had to go up the coast of Africa. Takes I think 3 weeks or something, and docks in Brussels. He takes a train to Vienna. Oh, this is Xena, the warrior princess. Choose everything. Can you say hello to people? Okay, you just said hello. He gets to Vienna, gets to the hotel. Next day, I mean, he's just like a kid before on Christmas Day, and he gets picked up, and he goes to Freud's office, walks in Freud's in a cocaine stupor, and so the meeting lasts about I don't know 45 seconds, and I mean Fritz Perls is devastated. I mean, he is just completely devastated. He goes back to his hotel, gets back on the train, gets back on the boat. And on the boat back to South Africa, he comes up with Gestalt therapy as a difference from psychoanalytic because he's kind of ticked off at Freud. Now, so let's kind of go with the Coleman, and then I'll talk about some specific differences of Gestalt. Um, so match name with theory, of course, it's Pearls. What is the goal? He was based in psychoanalytics, so it's the same bring the problem to awareness. However, his methods are confrontation and body language. So if you've been to Synanon or AA meetings or seen those, they use confrontation, where the therapist confronts you face to face. You know, I thought you said you were going to quit smoking, but yesterday we found out information you were smoking. So, and then they're really big on body language because body language sometimes you lie, but body language tells the truth. Um, so, uh, whereas Gestalt also deals with perceptions, but how you develop those perceptions. We'll talk about that later. Um, how do you cure? We talk about confrontation and body language. Individual group, good test question. This is the only therapy based on group therapy. You can do individual, but it's better in group. Why do you need group? If you're going to have confrontation, the client needs to have social support. So the other members add that social support and makes it easier for him or her to take that criticism. Um, Cognitive change, behavioral change is cognitive change. Remember, Gestalt's insight. Directive or non-directive? Very directive because it's using confrontation and the therapist is interpreting body language. Long-term or short-term? You got a big group of 8 or 9 people. It's going to be long-term. Past, present, or future? Gestalt is present. What is that famous quote by? And I'm going to screw the quote up, but Fritz Perls, you can't change yesterday. You don't know the future. You only know today. So if we're going to talk about a problem, we're talking about it as the right now at this moment. Don't tell me you're going to quit smoking. You got to quit smoking now. So a bunch of other things about Gestalt. Gestalt is big on role playing. Gestalt is big on different terms. They have terms like the hot seat, the here and now. Here and now is the present. Um, One of the famous quotes of Gestalt is "Don't push the river; it flows by itself." I love that. So Gestalt kind of has its own little language. Now let me talk a little bit about body language, because body language tells a lot. So if I say to you, you ask me, "Am I mad?" I go, "No." Oops, sorry, I got the dog. Woke the dogs up. Uh, uh, you know that I am mad. So um, years and years and years ago, when Westminster was all male and William was all female, I I taught psych classes, and we had males come over from Westminster take my classes. They actually came over to meet the girls. They didn't care about my classes. But anyway, um, I had a student named John McAllister who was a psych major, art major, and John is famous because he's the first person who drew horses, saddlebreds on because he had a girlfriend over here on deluxe checks. So most of you have deluxe checks, but anyway, that's a side issue. Anyway, John became a very good counselor in Kansas City, and he came and gave a lecture on neuro-linguistic programming, which is an offshoot of Gestalt, to my class. And three of the students said they would like to have a private meeting with him. So he said, I can't do it on campus because I'm charging money. And he said, can I use your apartment? And I said, yeah, giant living room. And he said, can you be there but not get involved? And I said, yes. So I was way in the corner grading papers. And he's working with this one girl. And he says to her a few things. Then he gets up and he says, points to the hallway, meets me in the hallway. And he said, Julian, do you know this girl? And I said, yeah, I had her in class. He said, can you tell me 3 things that you know are true about her? And I told him, and he said, I said, what's going on? I said, well, she's lying to me. And I said, how do you know? He said, look at her feet. So during the next part of the session, I didn't do a very good job of hiding. I was kind of looking over my notes like that, like killjoy, and I couldn't say anything. I just couldn't say anything. And then the confrontation started because I could see John and the conversation get heated. So, but I was so impatient. I just tapped John. John, come in the hallway. He said, why do you have nervous? I said, John, I can't see what you said. It's bugging me. And he said, Julian, I'm going to ask the girl 2 questions. The first question, she's going to tell me the truth. The second one, she's going to lie. Look at her feet. When her feet go right, she's telling the truth. When her feet go left, she is, I think I got that backwards. Anyway, when feet goes left, she's lying. And lo and behold, that's what happened. So sign language is very important with Gestalt. And the fact is that language therapy is very important. So the fact is, when they talk about, I can't, what's that saying? The person says I can, the person says I can't. Both of them are right. So they use both those two in counseling. But we find out language therapy is much more important in cognitive psych than it is in Gestalt. Again, it's confrontation and body language. So I will pick that up on our next lecture, and see you then.